Cuphead. The game of a laid-back type Mario game. But underneath the surface, it's a rage-induced game. I don't know how to describe Cuphead. I've tried to play the game and rage so hard because of the freaking flower. But we aren't here to talk about the game. Instead, the Cuphead show and how it is a masterpiece. Okay, we'll start with an episodic kind of fashion. Again, not my footage. This is Rotten Tomatoes. I did not know that. I thought it was Netflix. But it starts off in the village of the Inkwell Isles. Ooh. Cuphead and his brother are painting and wanting more. So they blow up their dad, Uncle Grandpa Man, and go to the carnival. Who wouldn't? Because after they destroy the fence, they have to they have to repair the fence. So after they do that. But before we talk about Carnival, how about we talk about our two main characters, Mugman and Butthead. The introduction scene with them is great because you get a feel how their different characteristics. The pancake scene is so funny. It's really cartoony. If you didn't know this, I'm a real stickler for cartoons and stuff like that. I love shows like Avatar and Cuphead. Trying to list some examples. But the Cuphead show has to be one of the best shows I've seen in a while. The introduction scene, great. Cuphead is kind of like a more hot-cupped, I should say. Hot, cup-headed kind of guy, while Mugman is a careful kind of guy. And the intro freaking slaps. I probably get copyrighted for playing it, but go look up Cuphead intro. It slaps. Absolute slapper. So like I said, after they blew up their dad, man, they go to the carnival. After Mugman is I'm not so sure about this, Cuphead's you know what I'm sure about? I double down. I don't think that's what he says, but so they go on the ride after Cuphead convinces his brother Mugman to go to the carnival. They play a few fun games, and then, oh no, the devil comes. Oh my gosh. What do I say about this guy? After his banger song just a second ago, which, again, listen to, he makes his introduction because Cuphead stopped the soul counter. It's actually pretty dark. What he does is they play the games, and if they don't win, their soul gets sucked into hell. Or heck. And, pretty dark. But, what are you going to do? It's the devil. Heck is his whole thing. So, the devil also's favorite character in the entire show. The second season just came out. I watched it. It was good. It wasn't as good as season 1, though. The only thing I feel they could have improved with this character is his skin tone and stuff. He's blue. In the game, he's black, and his skin's pink and his fur's black, and this he's blue, and I don't really like the shade that they use. So they run from the devil. Cuphead gets his soul sucked. Sorry, I didn't mute it. Cuphead gets his soul sucked. But Mugman saves him. Whoop-dee! And then they run. So, the first episode ends with the dev getting mad. Because, also, this is his little henchman man. He's cool. He's fun. So, I gotta admit, the first episode is one of my favorite in the entire show. It's just It's really solid. Every episode with the devil is my favorite because the devil's such a likable, cool character. In the games, he's like really creepy. In the show, he's creepy. Like, you get the sense that he's like a force, but he's much more like comical, like with his song. The song again. Go look it up. It's great. That wraps up episode 1. If I had to rank it, I'd rank episode 1 about a 9 out of 10. No, 10 out of 10. I really didn't see anything wrong with it. So, let's get into episode 1. I mean 2, whatever. Actually, this is the perfect image because I don't want to talk about episode 2. Episode 2 is my least favorite in the entire season because it's just them getting beat up. I don't really like physical pain. Like, I know that's weird to say because it's Cuphead, he's going to get hurt. But, like, the way they get hurt is just bad. Like, Mugman, sweet, innocent Mugman, he gives this little baby his teddy bear that he grew up with. And what does he do? He freaking rips the head off. And Mugman freaks out. Not in this scene. But, it's not funny because it's just mean. I feel bad for Mugman. Also, it doesn't have the devil in it. So, if I had to rank this episode, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. It's really not a bad episode by any chance. Definitely my least favorite. I usually just skip it every time I watch the series because I don't want to see these two get hurt for no reason. Like, it's funny when they get hurt, but I don't want them to get hurt by a freaking baby. Episode 3, Ruby and Croaks. I don't know. It might be what... I haven't seen what the episodes are. This episode's pretty cool. Like, so they sneak onto the boat after Elder Kettle. I didn't say his name. I just called him Dad, Uncle Man who gets beaten up. What even is Elder Kettle like their grandpa? I know he's like their guardian or whatever, but I don't know. I don't think he's his dad. He's his dad. Unless he like bought him. He like got him. Wanted some cups at the store. They popped to life. That'd be hilarious. But Ruby and Croaks, good. Their song in this isn't as good as, the, now that I'm looking at this, I think it's funny that they just wear boxing gloves the whole time. They're a good kind of contrast to Cuphead and Mugman because they, like, argue the whole episode, and these two argue all the time. And they punch each other. I don't have much to say about this episode, but it's funny. The song they sing, like I said, not as good as the Devil song, but it's pretty catchy. All the songs are catchy. You can't say they're bad. In season 2, they're not as good. I'm looking at you, Calamaria. But, solid episode 3. And now, episode 4. Basically, Mugman breaks his handle. And then he's sad about it and depressed. And then Cuphead's like, we can get glue, except it's broken, so they have to find other ways to heal his handle. Definitely not the best of this season. Not bad, though. I thought it was funny. The pork grind character, he's funny. Here he is, pork grind. He's funny. He hates them, and it's really funny. Overall handle with care, I don't have much to say about it. It's good. Moving on. Episode 5. Now this episode is great. It's better than episodes 2 through 4. And that is because, you guessed it, the devil shows up in this episode. And I gotta admit, look, the voice acting in the series, top notch. It's really, really good. Wayne Brady as King Dice Fist really good. The Devil and Mugman are my favorite voice actors in the series, probably. Cuphead's really good too. And who knew like Azula would be a good Miss Chalice. We'll get to her later because she's spooky. But so basically their tire runs off. I'm not joking. They're playing with a tire and it rolls off. And they're like, oh no, the tire. And then they go after it. They end up on the game show, Roll the Dice. And so Cuphead's wanted because his soul should have been sucked in the first episode. But it wasn't. So Also, we get this really creepy scene with the pole man. No, he's not a pole man. But, what's his name? He's like a telephone man. Well, anyway, he gets his soul sucked, which is terrifying because we never see him ever again. I'm not joking, we don't see him again. I mean, we do in season 2. It's good that he's fine in season 2. Don't know how he got out, though. So King Dice sees that they're wanted, so he calls the devil. He's like, hey, I can get him. And he's like, oh, good. But if you fail me, I'll kill you. And he's like, ooh, that's not good. So Cuphead goes to this game. He's stupid. So King Dice just kind of gives the answers to him. He didn't know he didn't know Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. But so Cuphead breaks the game, so he didn't win, and King Dice is like, go to the mystery room to get your prize, to get sucked. But and then the people in the audience are like, hey, he shouldn't win. And then they start throwing crap at King Dice. And then he's like, oh no. Or Cuphead runs off. He's like, crap. Alright, the henchman dude, this guy right here, the little man, he's like, hey. So he takes him to heck, and then the devil's like, hey, you failed me. And then he disappears. That's all we see of King Dice for this season. Again, great episode. I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Yeah, mostly just because the devil doesn't show up that much. It's not really a complaint. It's just kind of petty that I say that. The devil doesn't show up as much. But, I mean, you didn't really need the devil. King Dice is a really cool character. I thought it was cool, at least. Wayne Brady does a really good job of King Dice. It fits him. Anyway, on to episode 6. Right, episode 6. It's a ghost episode. Ooh, spooky. Basically, they go to see a scary movie. They go to a graveyard at like 3 a.m. Yep, it's 3 a.m. challenge in Cuphead. And so, ghosts haunt them with a top-tier song. I can't remember how it goes. It's pretty good, though. So, and then they die. I'm not joking. They literally die. And they're like, oh no, we just wanted to have fun. We didn't want to kill Cuphead and Mugman. And then Cuphead and Mugman run away. So they didn't kill them. It was really out of nowhere. Because they're like, jump! And then they die. It's really funny. But, that's the end of that episode. I'll give this episode probably a 7 out of 10. I'll move Baby Bottle to like a 5 out of 10. Baby Bottle's the worst it gets, but 7 out of 10 for this episode I thought was good. Also, we get a cameo from the little train ghost with the eyeballs right there. Alright, let's go to episode. Alright, episode 7. The Root Pack shows up. They're cool. I think the carrot guy's in the center right here. So I'm getting this from a trailer, so I don't have like all the footage. But basically, the Elder Kettle Man has a garden, and he's like, "Don't touch my garden." No, he breaks his back or something, and he's like, "Boys, be careful with my garden. They're my babies." So then, giant freaking vegetable people come, and they're like, "Hey, we just want dirt." I'm not joking. They eat dirt. So, so then they throw a party, or they said they watch Elder Kettle's plants, and then the guys go off and watch a movie or whatever, and then they're like, ah, what a great movie. And then they come back to like 50 alive vegetables at their house. After some wacky antics, they get the Onion Man to cry, and it smells bad, so everyone starts crying, and everyone's like, hey, you guys are jerks. So they suck all the water out of the dirt, and then Elder Kell's back is fine. So he's like, oh my gosh, my plants came to life, and then they run off because they think he's going to harvest them. So, episode 7, it's not bad. Not the best episode in the series. I'll give it a 7. 7 out of 10. It's about the quality of the last one. Alright, episode 8. It gets better. Episode 8. I don't know if this one's my favorite. The next one might be. Maybe episode 1. These 8 and 9 are my favorite, or some of my favorites. But 3 favorites, 1, 8, and 9. So basically the devil's like guy Stickler basically knows more from Ralph Breaks the Internet. He goes like he's like, hey, a soul's missing. I don't know if that's a good voice for him, but that's what they chose for him. And then the devil's like, fine, I'll get it. And he's like throwing a party because of how good things are going in Heck. So then he goes to get Cuphead, even though Cuphead's like, oh, it's scary. So Mugman's like, I know this place. I think his name's Quadratus. I think that's his name. They go to visit Quadratus, like a head in a pool. And he like rhymes all the time. So he gives Cuphead an invisible sweater that repels the devil. So then the devil tries to get his soul. And he gets mad because he can't get their soul. This is perfect. So the devil tries different ways, but he can't get Cuphead to get his soul back. So he's just like, I give up. And then he goes back to the guy's like, oh, I got the soul. And he's like, and the guy's like, you didn't check it in? He's like, get out of here. So that wraps up episode 8. Really funny. It's the devil. It has to be funny. It's legally funny if it's the devil. 10 out of 10. Yep, 10. It's a 10 out of 10. Also, I didn't notice this. His pelvis bone kind of looks like a skull. I don't know if they did that on purpose, but it's funny. So, 10 out of 10, episode 9. Okay, episode 9, I'm just going to use the same one. So, basically, it's like a part 2 to the last one. The devil's like trying to get him to get off the sweater. And then Cuphead and Mugman are like, but we want to ride this roller coaster. So he's like, fine, I'll let you ride the roller coaster. So then they wait in line all day. But Cuphead forgot his sweater at home. So they've been waiting in line. And the devil didn't know he had the sweater off. So they pass him on the back, which is clever. They're like, ha ha ha, funny joke, ha 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 ha. And they pass him on the back, and he's like, you're not wearing the sweater, it didn't shock me. And then he's like, I'll get your soul in a pretty scary scene, not gonna lie. The devil like has Cuphead's soul in his eyes, and it's really creepy looking. But and then Mugman comes in, and he's like, hey, devil, eat this. And he gets the sweater, and the devil wears the sweater, and he shocks him. And then in the post-credit scene, I guess it's a post-credit scene, the devil's gone. This is the last devil episode of the first season. What a way to go, though. It's a really good season. We still got 4 episodes left, and they're without the devil. This is a winner of 10 out of 10 for me. Oh, no, the others won't be. Or maybe they will. The devil automatically makes it a 10 out of 10 because he's such a cool guy. Anyway, episode 10. Alright, episode 10. Basically, all that happens is Mugman's scared, so he's like, hey, Mugman, where are these? So Cuphead wins these goggles, and where are these goggles? And Mugman's like, I'm feeling kind of dangerous. I'm gonna go climb a mountain. So then he climbs the mountain, where Grim Matchstick is, and they steal his babies. Is it them? I have no idea because they're 3 heads. But he steals Grim Matchstick's egg. And they come back and they're mad, so they burn Pork Grind, and he dies. No, I'm just joking. Just Pork Grind. He goes, get out of here! You destroyed my store! And then they go, and that's episode 10. 6 out of 10. It was fine, better than Baby Bottle. It might be my second least favorite. I don't know. The next one's not that good, but not bad. Just not too great. Alright, episode 11. Alright, episode 11. I'm just gonna use this. Episode 11. Cuphead and Mugman are like, we gotta put him out of his misery, and Elder Kettle walks by, and he's like, oh my gosh, they're talking about me! So then he tries to kill them. I'm not joking, he like, die kids! And he pulls out a sword and like a gun, and sets up booby traps, Home Alone style. Of course he gets beaten up by them, because Elder Kettle's a punching bag in this. So, it's sadistic. To be honest, it's pretty funny. In the end, they were talking about a worm, though, and it was like, we gotta put him out of his misery. So, Elder Kettle beat himself up, pretty much. This one's not bad. I'd give it a 7 out of 10, maybe. Yeah, it's a 7. It's funny. It's definitely funny. Just not the best of the series, again, like the last one. Alright, one more episode. Let's go. Alright, the final episode. Episode 12. Miss Chalice gets introduced. This was before the DLC came out. So everyone's like, oh my gosh, Miss Chalice is coming out. I don't know if people were like that. I didn't know much about Miss Chalice. But, Azula does a great job. Azula. They got Azula to freaking play Miss Chalice. She fits. She fits really good. Or really well. Basically, they're trying to steal cookies from their dear Elder Kettle. And then they break his glasses. And then he gets all like... Or he's sleeping. And so they go to the screwdriver woman. I'm not joking. She's a screwdriver. In Inkwell Isles, it's everyone's an inanimate object. Like cups. And chalices. So, I'm trying to remember. So yeah, Miss Chalice comes in and she's like, hey, everyone. And she tap dances, sings a cool song. And then she steals the glasses. And then they see that she's stealing all this cool stuff. And they're like, they go to her and they're like, hey, we want to steal the cool stuff. And she's like, awesome. And so she teaches them. And for their task at hand, they, for their final test, you could say, they try to charm their way into a cookie factory, spoiler alert, but they can't do it, and the guard, who's a bear, like, pulls out his, what is that called, a stick? Or he like, unravels his stick, so he's like, don't get a step closer, buddy. So then Miss Chalice comes in behind's like, so he lets them in. And like, once they get in the cookie factory, they eat the cookies, and then they get arrested, and Miss Chalice turns into a ghost. Ooh, spooky. So, episode 12. 9 out of 10. Really good. The song's catchy. I can't remember. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to sing it. But, that sums up the Cuphead show. Alright, so, Cuphead Season 1. Great show. It's a really, really good show. If you haven't watched it and you're into, like, animation stuff, I didn't mention, the animation slaps hard. Like, it looks like a Mickey Mouse cartoon, which is a compliment, because that's what they were going for. Obviously, it's not as, like, artistically great as the game, but, the game, you're mostly worried about if you get hit or not, so you can enjoy it. So, but in this, it's relaxed, you can enjoy the show and all that. So, it's great. What do I rate this show? I rate the show season 1, I rate a 9 out of 10. One of the best shows I've ever watched. If you want me to do season 2, you can let me know. And I'll review season 2, because, I don't know, it has an extra episode. Why not? Season 2's not as good as this one, though, I will admit. I liked season 1 better. Basically, the devil rocks, Cuphead and Mugman are cool, Elder Kettle kills people, even his loved ones, and, all that jazz. So, this show's great. Like I said, watch it now. I'll come find you. I'm joking, I won't. Don't worry. Anyway, if you like this video, you know, you can like it all I don't know. And you can subscribe, or otherwise Cuphead will come to your house and make you play the game on hard mode. Oh no. But anyway, that's all I got for you today. Goodbye.